Good evening, everyone. This is the select board meeting for April 25th of 2022. Read tonight's agenda. Under new business, we need to sign fleet permits, approve meeting minutes from April 11th, and sign warrants. At the end of the meeting, we'll go into executive session to speak about a new employee and the Missisquoi Hydro deal. I got a couple people here, Brian Derry here and Roddy. Anything specific you guys want to speak about?
I got a question on the grand list number.
Okay.
That's in the book.
Alright.
According to the grand list, it went up. But according to the paper I got, the last meeting, the hydro deal went down $5,483,000.
Right.
So is the town growing at that rate?
That will go on next year's grand list.
No, the hydro went down 7,000, is it 7,000 on that grand list?
Right, but it went from 44
Mm-hmm.
to 38.
Yeah.
So it was like 54. According to this paper, it went down.
Yeah.
Right.
But according to the book, the grand list went up. How does that happen? The town grow that fast?
I don't
We
know.
got $6 million worth of new property in town?
That's a Lister question, I guess. I'm not sure. We don't do the grand list. We're familiar with the Missisquoi Hydro because we're dealing with that right now, that whole appeal stuff, but the rest of the grand list, I haven't even looked at it.
But this number
Yeah.
that was here, was that in the grand list last year?
Yes.
So the grand list went up.
I will have to ask the listers how the grand list went up, but
The town grows at $6 million a year?
That'd be good growth.
yeah.
I don't, what did the auditors say about this, or they don't say that?
Maybe there was a mistake on that grand list going in the book, but we'll have to check it.
Oh, what number is right? I don't know.
We'll get back to you on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We don't deal with the grand list at all, or the raising taxes, or we just set the tax rate.
What was the tax? Was the tax rate set off in this number?
Is the number in there, the total number on the other page?
No, the grand list.
The way, on the breakdown, I see it look.
What number was the tax rate set off?
2692. Let's set off this number, 2692-20096, right there.
So if we take that number and multiply with the rate, that should come out to the numbers that we received in income?
Yeah.
Is that the same number that's on the other page? Then what's this number?
It looks like it's the same number.
Right, so it went up. According to this, the grand list went up last year. From that number to that number is bigger. They go minus it by $5 million, and they went up.
I don't know, we'll have to check with, I told you we'll check it on that and get back to you.
Yeah, I don't know what to tell you on that. We don't deal with the grand list or any of the listing stuff.
Will you deal with the grand list when you set the tax rate.
That's the number we're handed, yes.
Yeah.
From the listers, we don't do the listing.
What was the listers now?
Right now, we have an appraiser permit.
Yep. Any other question? Maybe we could help you with.
We'll have to wait to get a number. I don't know.
Well, I guess what thing I'm here for is to see what's our policy for growth off a class 4 road. Because, well, Pete built up there and he says, well, he didn't upgrade the road. I had asked the question years ago, wanted to build up there, and they said, you can build, you gotta upgrade the road to town standards. My brother Mark, same thing. So neither one of us ended up building. And Pete said, no, because it's a class 4 road, the town's not gonna never upgrade that road, or they're not gonna take care of it. So he said, we can just build up here. He says, if you wanna build houses up there, you can build houses. Well, that's easy to say. I'd like to see a policy to see what my rights are. Can I build up there? How many can I build up there? What's the stipulations? This opens up a big can of worms as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, we'll have to dig out it's all in the zoning bylaws there. You wanna get a copy of that?
Unless they've changed it, that's, but I guess I'll get a copy of that and look at it.
He's here on Friday mornings, the zoning administrator.
On Friday mornings?
Yep.
Okay, so I guess I'll come in there and talk to them. I just wanna know,
Yeah.
I wanna know what, I don't mind if I decide I wanna build. I don't wanna wait till I do go to build and then find out, oh yeah, we changed that, but we didn't do this, we didn't do that, and no, you can't do this. I wanna know right now.
Yep.
If they change it, I wanna know why. When we try to build up there, no. I just wanna know what the whole scoop is right now, so if I got any complaints, I'll bring them up.
Yep.
I just wanna look at it, just see what's in the fold, So I guess I'll come in Friday morning, you said, Kim?
Mm-hmm.
Alright,
Well, I
that's
think not that many years ago, if I remember right, I mean, I wasn't on board, but I think when you guys were building up there, they didn't even consider that a class 4 road, did they?
Yeah.
Weren't they telling you that was your own to maintain and build?
Oh no, they told us, they said it's a class 4, class trail road, class trail or whatever. But they said, we're not maintaining it, we're not taking care of it, that's totally your guys' responsibility.
Yeah.
And we said, yeah, whatever,
Yeah.
So, and we've always taken care of it. Not a big deal, I mean, I didn't really want to fix the road up like that anyway, but when I tried to build and I couldn't build, it was kind of irritating.
Well, if it wasn't a class 4 road, that you would have triggered after 3 houses, you would have had to have it up to, E76 standards.
Right, and that's what they were telling us.
Yeah.
They were telling us that we had to bring it up to town standards before we could build, because we had 3 houses up there. And they told me that, and they told Mark that too, because Mark
But
was.
that only applies to a private drive, that's a town road. It's just class 4 roads the town doesn't maintain.
Well, I know, I'm just trying to figure
But
it
it's,
out. I just want to know what's up, and
I know I had that discussion, Pete had that discussion
Right.
before he built there too, and I said, I'm not sure, you gotta go see the zoning about that, and it's,
yeah, because Pete told me to come down and see you about it, but that's kind of where I wanted to see what else is up, and
I think it goes with so many feet off the road too. When you get into rural lands too, is where you need to have 10 acres. Each lot has to be 10 acres. I think there's that too, it just depends on your road frontage.
yeah.
But he's here on Fridays and he can help you with that.
All right.
But if it's a class 4 road, it's the same as it is a regular road, right, as far as,
Correct, but if you go so many feet off the road, you get into rural lands too. And that you're required to have 10 acres. But I don't know what the footage, how many feet off the road you have to
Well,
be.
just see if you look at that, the zoning map there, the light shade there, the yellow along the roads, that's rural lands 1. You get off deeper than that, and you're into that, they call it, I think it's rural lands 2, which is a different, triggers different zoning bylaws, if I remember right.
Yeah, they're
I
10
don't
acre
quote me on
lots.
it, but he would help you out if you came down.
Yeah, I just wanna
Get the map out with him and
Yeah.
tell him what you wanna do, and he'll, tell you what you gotta do.
Okay, that's pretty much what I wanted, so. I guess I'll stop in Friday.
but to say that rural lands 2 is 50 feet, 100 feet,
Well,
you gotta be within that.
it's in the, I'm not sure what changes on the bylaws. I mean, I don't know if it's the road frontage or the acreage or what it is, but I know it's a little different for one than the other. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure it'll be nothing simple.
This stage in your life, Ronnie, you haven't figured that out yet. Everything's a mess.
See you guys, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Alright. Quick and easy. Appointments, I'll jump right into signing minutes. I'll read or signing warrants, and I'll read the minutes from last meeting. Get this business done. Move on to the next fun thing.
That's like quite a few.
Yeah, we skipped you.
I did? No way. Did I really?
Yeah.
Good house there. Alright, I'll read the meeting minutes from the previous meeting. This is the Selectboard Water Commissioner meeting minutes from March 28th of 2022. We met here at 7:30. Present was Stephen Dodd, Seth Hungerford, David Pluvitt, Nick Norris, Kim Dufresne, Brady Reed, Brian Derry, and Morgan Daybell. 7:30, I opened the meeting and read the agenda. Addition made for an executive session at the end of the meeting to discuss the tax appeal. 7:35, Seth motioned to go into executive session to speak with a highway applicant, seconded by David, and all in favor. 7:45, we entered back into regular session. Brian Derry had questions about the hydro tax appeal. The board is still in negotiations for a repayment plan. Morgan Daybell, business manager for FNESQ, will ask the school board if needed after the town negotiates for the hydro if the payment date for the school taxes could be extended. I read the meeting minutes from March 28th. Is this date wrong on the top here? We have a meeting, we've had one meeting in April.
Yeah, what's that mean?
That should have been April what?
14? Wait, right.
April 11th, okay. So I'm gonna adjust this top. It says March 28th, but it's gonna say April 11th.
Brady's last name would be Ferrari.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
that doesn't make me looking so bad.
I'm going by his mom's name.
Alright. I read the meeting minutes from March 28th. Amendment was made. Joe Dunlop was not in attendance. Seth motioned to accept as amended, seconded by David, and all in favor. We signed warrants 2213 and 2214 and fleet permits, most of them. I signed 2022 highway financial plan and road and bridge standards. Spoke with Seth Patel, road foreman, about the Heald Road culvert replacement. And I see we have a email here that we can read after from the guys doing some engineering for us. Structured ramp maximum is 200,000. Replacement cost is estimated at 450. So he's going to ask engineer to check on other options. At 8:40, Nick motion to go into executive session, seconded by Seth, and all in favor. We discussed a repayment plan for the Sheldon Hydro tax appeal. At 9:30, Seth motion to adjourn, seconded by Nick, and all in favor, and the meeting adjourned. Now, take a motion to accept these minutes as read.
Invoice.
I make a motion.
That goes, yeah, I'll second that. I'll put that back.
Must be we're all in favor of that.
Yeah, aye, yeah. There's nothing.
Sure it's not, that's in there.
That was. It's an oldie.
Other tax.
Well, you guys going over that, spoke with Hubert this afternoon. A little nervous about the meters from Prescott. They're trying to send in 40 of them. He heard from somebody they're way out on the rest of them, that's why they're trying to, he wants them all. He said if they're gonna send them to me, I want them all. And they're trying to say, well, we'll get you 40 now, and then we'll get you the rest. They won't say when. And he's heard they're way out on getting them. Spoke to a guy at Webb's, he was down there, picked up a couple hydrants, fire hydrants for the fire department project. Something that somebody installed, they weren't the right ones for the town, or it was not. He said they were installed, but they were taken, never used. Taken back out, and you got a good deal on them. So he went down to get those, and the salesman was talking to him about meters. They have a meter there at Webb's very similar to the one that we're looking at, with the same style of reader and everything. They just put some, I don't know if they're in yet, or they're putting some in Fairfield. They have a water system in the village there, 40 or so, 30.
Yeah, they used to.
They're using them. There's a water system in Georgia that has them that have been in use for a while, I guess. He says he can get them all right off and get them. So Hubert was kind of like, well, what do you think? We haven't signed any agreement with Prescott. We signed that radio frequency license, but other than that, he said he doesn't really have a commitment that he's going to check on it more. Didn't know if we wanted to hear the spiel from Webb's, or he said maybe I could get him to come some afternoon and a couple of us could stop and hear it, or, because at first he said, wow, maybe I can call him back and see if he'll come to tonight's meeting. And this was at 4:30, and I'm like, probably not, but I mean, if you want to. But I said, well, if it's if he could come like an afternoon, I'm sure a couple of us could, or one of us could stop and, listen to it with Hubert. And so I don't know, he's nervous about not getting those. We went through that with the original meters. Mm-hmm. We got some in, and then of course it was Irene there, and that messed with everybody's supply chain, and he would like to have them and then set up and start changing them out, because you're gonna have two different readers, and so he doesn't want this to drag on for 2 years before we get all meters changed. So I don't know. He said he's got calls into the guy from Prescott, and he hasn't come back yet. So that's making me more nervous. So that's just, he wanted to give me a heads up that that's what he was kind of, didn't know if should look, these other ones, or what our thoughts were on it. He said to discuss it with you guys, but he wants to look into it a little bit, and he's waiting to hear back from the guy from Prescott to see, if he's going to say, yeah, well, it is going to be a year and a half before I can get you all of them, or if he's just going to say, well, take these and we'll fix you up. And so that's just something to think about. He's going to look into it a little more and let us know what he comes up with. But he is starting to get a little nervous about that because of, everything with the supply chains on everything.
Across the board, I would just like to make sure that, whatever if he wants to trade, that he does look into it and not only talks to the people that have it in place, because just like his last system doesn't seem like we really got enough feedback, and if this is something that's a smaller scale, and Fairfield's not using it as a huge, not like St. Albans or Vermont or anything like that, so in Georgia's the same kind of way that I'm comfortable with shopping around as long as it's there and they can back it, and it's not something that's just flying off the shelf today.
Yeah, that's the big thing. I don't want to get something in and then 3 years from now they say, oh, that's outdated.
Exactly.
We can't get parts anymore, so we're not have to go to a different system.
Or we're not carrying that system anymore.
Right.
We're getting out of it. So
Yeah, I guess you got to take that into consideration, not just it's
and there's a supply chain no matter what.
not like buying a car when you you don't like it, you just go trade it. But once you spend all the time getting those in people's houses, and then the reader doesn't work right, or you can't get service on it, or meters don't work right, you gotta go back in people's houses 10 times there. That's, I guess it'd be a pain.
I guess have him look into it and maybe get a little information. If he wants to meet with him, we can meet with him, and if he wants us to help him put some pressure onto before we sign anything with Prescott, if we don't like what Webb's or whatever, we can send a letter like we want them all, we're not gonna buy them,
Right.
Now, through Prescott's, did we pay for those?
Not yet.
we sign a contract with them? You know, Hubert didn't seem to think we did, and I said, I remember signing the radio frequency thing, but
I think we might have when they visited us.
No, they
you know,
they,
I mean,
they were,
but I
they
think I didn't
assumed, but
say
then,
This agreement though, for 200 or?
I think they did. I'll have to check.
I'll look into it, I guess, and see where we're at with that.
Fairfield used to go with like an honor system. You used to read it 3 times and then they'd come around and check before. I'm surprised they went with all electric.
sounds like we got a bunch of new buildings up in the town, in the village, or downtown.
Downtown.
So,
Is their meters mostly in Smithfield though?
leave it at that.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
David had that one too, yeah.
Good. So this is a message from that Tyler Billings. I don't know if you guys have seen that on Hill Road structure.
No,
Says attached is the East engineering proposal for the bridge on Hill Road. I took a drive out there earlier this week, and based on what I saw, I think geotech borings are certainly warranted for the new bridge. I bet the soils are not great down at footer elevations. If they are really poor, or as a cost savings measure, the town may want to consider switching to a 4-sided box or arch structure instead of a bridge. I thought that's what we were going with in the first place, was a box culvert. But I guess they engineered a bridge. Says you don't typically need to dig as deep for a 4-sided structure, and you have less issues with bearing capacity in weaker soils. If you want to stick with an open bottom structure, you could also consider a metal structure, kind of a bridge culvert hybrid approach. Typically less expensive to put in, but the service life isn't as long as a concrete structure. Lots of options, as you can imagine. I'm happy to work with you to get the best option for the new structure and for town maintenance, construction costs, etc. All while making sure the option meets the hydraulic study requirements.
I think I'd rather do a box culvert, concrete box culvert. It's gonna be least amount of time shut down for the road. It's gonna be the least expensive, and it's quick turnaround, less maintenance.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a 4-day shutdown compared to a 4-day.
I think is that the new thing now, having the open bottom one so you can have the natural dirt underneath. That's what they're pushing for.
Like the Sweet Hollow Road box culvert, though, we actually had to fill it in with gravel for the fish.
I spoke with Seth this afternoon, and he's has Pike coming tomorrow to do a ride around and get some numbers from them on what it'd be to do paving on Main Street and Redstone Road. So he said he's already got the other 2, and he's not sure when they would even be able to do it. They're usually later in the summer, but he said he would find all that out tomorrow and get back to us. So he did say that was coming, so.
Anything else we need to discuss in the executive session?
I don't know.
You, David? Alright,
I'll make a motion to go into executive session, and at the end of executive session, we will adjourn the meeting.
alright, we have a motion to go into executive and adjourn after, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright, thank you, Jerry.
You're welcome.